What's good, everybody? It's Michael Walter here from the landflippingformula.com, and I was actually online right now researching how to up my inventory right now because I am very low on land inventory, and one of the keys to staying profitable and continued growth is having a lot of properties on your list. So I was actually on the Polk County, Florida tax deed auction site, and I thought to myself, I should probably create a video right now sharing how people could actually get into this game, become successful, and how to start from zero and go ahead and scale up to hundreds of properties or whatever number you want to achieve. So if you have some general knowledge of real estate investing, there's a couple different ways to go about this land model. Primarily by generating passive income, reselling these properties on seller finance terms, which is going to give you a monthly income each and every month. Now, the first strategy I'm going to share with you is what I feel is the best strategy because it's the one I use. The next one, I'm going to go over what the bulk of the marketers out there are doing, which works just as well, but I think it takes a little more time and a little more investment. I do that as well. And then finally, I'm going to share with you some of the tools you need to create a buyer's list and how to keep your buyer's list warm and trusting you so they're going to come back to you time and time again and buy more properties for you. So first things first, get your pen and paper out so you actually take this seriously and make these things happen. So if you want to get into the fast track of the land investing game and you want to generate passive income, the best way to do this is to connect with wholesalers. Just go directly to the big fish, buy properties that are already at a discount that you could turn around and resell for monthly income and make a large profit over the passive income you make over the years. So for example of this, you would buy a property for $500, you would turn around and resell it for $50 down, $50 a month for 36 months, and that $500 would grow into $1,800 over 3 years. So that's how you become wildly profitable just by being in the finance game. Now, how do you get into this? You need to research properties in different areas, and the best way to do this is go on sites like LandWatch, Land and Farm, Landmodo, Land Century, all the big websites out there. And if you're not hip to any of them, just go Google cheap land for sale. All the major websites will pop up. Start focusing on the Sun Belt region just because it's easy and land is cheap. So this is everything from Florida to Southeast California. And what you're gonna do is sort through the properties, lowest price to highest, and you want all the cheap properties to pop up, and you wanna take note at who is listing these cheap properties at each and every part of the state. So if their same name is popping up in Arizona, New Mexico, Southeast California, and he or she has all the wholesale deals there, you want to write down their name and number, and then you could go over to their website later on to see what other deals they have there. You also want to know what the rest of the fish out there are selling these for. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a name out there. Most people in the land game know Luke Smith. He kind of popped up on the scene 2 or 3 years ago, and he has gone all in and blown up wildly. He has property everywhere. So you might see that Luke Smith has wholesale deals for $500 in Arizona, while the rest of the marketplace is listing these things for $900. So everybody's paying the same price all in all, but you can go directly to Luke, buy it cheap, and then turn around and resell it for, like I said, $50 down, $50 a month for 36 months. So I'm gonna walk you through the whole process here. You wanna find about a dozen of these wholesalers out there and connect with them. Have their name, email address, their website, and their phone number, because you're gonna check in with them on a regular basis and ask if they have anything on sale. And these are properties that they just need to clean off the books. They could be as low as $300. You wanna buy cheap properties so you have bait in the water. Now I'm gonna walk you through the whole process. Let's say you reach out to a wholesaler, you're ready to buy a couple properties in Arizona at $500 a pop. So you go ahead and you purchase these, you figure out how they're doing the deeds, how they're filing the deeds, and then how you closed on them. So you have the whole formula done for you there, and you take note of all that. Next, you wanna take these properties, and the best thing about buying from wholesalers, they have the descriptions already laid out, the GPS coordinates, everything you could want to know about the property. They've already done the work. Copy and paste their listing that you purchased it off of and save that. You're just going to use that for your remarketing, and the only thing you have to do with this is go ahead and add seller finance terms to it. So you could, let's say you bought it for $500, say you could buy this right now for $999, or I'll finance you $50 down, $50 a month for 36 months. The vast majority of the marketplace is going to take your seller finance option over the cash option just because everybody has $50. Not everybody has $1,000, and everybody wants to own real estate. So it's far easier to sell like this. So once you know how to buy and sell once you've been cashed out, since you just did this with your wholesaler. Now you've sold it to your buyer on passive income for $50 a month. You're gonna write a little contract, say your payments are due every 30 days. There's a $25 late fee if you're 10 days late or whatever the case may be. I personally give people a 90-day grace period, but the rest of the marketplace only gives a 60-day grace period if you go into default. So meaning if your payments due October 1st, and your buyer stops paying you on October 1st, and you reach out and they start ghosting you and they're not paying any attention to you, they basically in full default and they're walking away, I wait 90 days just in case the buyer wants to pop back up before I put it back on the market. Most of the marketplace only waits 60. There's no right or wrong answer on this, whatever you feel most comfortable with, and you're gonna generate this income. Now, as your passive income streams are coming in, if you're smart and you really wanna build a business out of this, don't spend any of it. Let it compile, and as you have enough to buy another property, deploy it into your next property. Have that get added to your passive income. And as it builds up, you buy your next one and your next one, and you let this machine build you a mega portfolio of properties that are throwing off passive income each and every month. So that is the basic gist of it in my style that I do the bulk of my investing on. The next one is what everybody else is teaching. I do some of this as well, but it's not my main source because it takes a little bit longer, and you will get better deals, but you do have to spend marketing dollars to get these better deals. So you have to be ready to throw more money in the game. So what the rest of the people out there are teaching is you send out a direct offer to a motivated seller. I'll walk you through my process here. Everybody that follows me knows I'm all about New Mexico. I love getting deals there. I think there's gonna be a ton of upside in New Mexico, so I'm trying to buy as much as I can there right now. So when I reach out to these direct mail marketing companies, I say, I want out-of-state owners. I'm looking for properties 1 acre in size. That part changes all the time. I will pay X number of dollars for a property of that size, and we are targeting out-of-state owners. I don't know if I said that already or not. So Valencia County, out-of-state owners, 1 acre properties, I'll pay X for those properties, and then boom, we deploy 100 offers or 500 offers at that set amount there. Now, as these offers come back in, you close on the highly motivated sellers. Make sure you check the back tax roll to make sure the deal still makes sense, but if it does, close on them right away. A couple things to keep in mind with direct mail marketing that I want to be really clear on. So sometimes you'll get 0 response. Sometimes you buy a bad list. It just happens. Sometimes you'll get a flood of accepted offers. You may have offered too much money for the property. That doesn't matter a whole lot as long as you know you could profit on it from your seller financing terms. So don't overthink that. Now, if you get 0 responses, go back and assess what you did. I share this story with everybody because if I was a newbie, I'd have walked away from real estate for sure. Me, Mr. Peak Mindset, which y'all may know, and Mike Miller had a mailer of about 2,500 postcards. I personally spoke to hundreds, and when I say hundreds, probably 500 or 600 people that had came in saying they had property to sell. Out of those 500 or 600, nobody was motivated. So if I was a total newbie and I talked to 500 or 600 people, I'd be like, yo, this real estate thing is nonsense, it doesn't work. But what happened was we bought a bunk list. There was no motivation within that list whatsoever. We were trying to buy properties for $20,000 and every single one of the sellers wanted $60,000. It was just so far gapped that it wasn't happening at all. So you can buy bad deals or bad lists. So if you run into a scenario where you do direct mail marketing, don't say this doesn't work. Review your letter. It could be your phone number was wrong. Your address was wrong. It could be that, you just offered too little. It could be a number of things. It's just a bad list. So dive in and do it again. Now, as far as direct mail marketing goes, 3 things I want to keep in mind for this. First things first, get a different number because you are going to upset people and they're going to call you all types of nasty things. It's not personal. It's just business. So I use Vumber, VUMBER.com. You can get 2 phone numbers on Vumber for under $10 a month. Totally worth the investment. Next, I want you to get a P.O. box. That runs about $30 to $40 a quarter, and you have all your mailers go back to there. You do not want people to have your personal address because some people are loony and they might show up to kill you. We can't have that. You need to be in business a long time. And then finally, the last thing that you need to have is just the ability to go ahead and scale. You better have cash on hand to deploy on more mailers and keep this thing rolling, because one bad mailer might leave a bad taste in your mouth and you might not have the money to do it again. So that's why I shared with you in the beginning, starting with wholesalers, because you're buying property right away. You're in the game and you're going to learn the moving parts. As you start to scale and become a little more seasoned, absolutely try different arenas of the investing game and marketing strategies to go ahead and scale this thing out and build it out. Now, one thing I haven't really covered yet is how do you sell these freaking things? Where do you market them at? And this is something that changes on a regular basis. So be ready to pivot. But that's anything in our world right now. The formula that was the core formula doesn't exist in any business. So things are always changing and you have to change with it. So social media, first things first, pick a channel. I'm a big YouTube guy, so I focus on YouTube, but you should focus on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter? Nah, we're not doing Twitter. But maybe do Twitter if you got a big following there. But focus on social media, market on there. Next is Craigslist. I personally hate Craigslist, but you can make a killing on Craigslist. Why do I hate it? Because there's a lot of low-life people on there that'll just spin your tires and not generate any cash for you. But there are gems on there, so you should be marketing on Craigslist. And then all the other land platforms out there, make sure you're putting your ads on there. Don't be afraid to spend money on promoting your land and your brand. So I'm on all the paid platforms right now, except for, well, we're gonna have another video on that, but the vast majority of paid platforms I am on. Reason being, some of them generate very little to, if any, business, but the reason I do that is when you're on all the big platforms and you see my pretty smile everywhere, then you go to one of the smaller platforms and I'm there too, it looks like I'm a big deal. People are gonna wanna do business with you then, and then you go over to the YouTube channel where I'm running my mouth on a regular basis, it just builds credibility and comfort and people wanna do business with you. So be everywhere. So that's the marketing standpoint as far as listing your deals. Craigslist, social media, and all the paid land platforms. Make sure you're on everything. Now, a couple tools you're gonna need in your toolbox before I wrap this up here. You're gonna be building a buyer's list along the way. There's gonna be times where you're sold out of property and you just need to keep in touch with your buyer's list. You could create a quick, happy video and blast it all out to them. Just a value add. Hey, keep an eye on this area. I'm focusing on this right now, and if you wanna expand your land deals, you may wanna check this out. It has this, 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 and this, and there could be the upside of growth with this. Just send them something happy. They're like, hey, he or she is a good person, and I will wanna do business with them in the future. Because as you build your buyer's list, you have to keep them warm or they are gonna go somewhere else. I was talking to an investor yesterday about how we market on Facebook. We have a bunch of people going to our opt-in pages. They don't even respond to me for 3 to 4 months easily. Just me consistently warming people up until they finally say, okay, you're not going anywhere. I wanna do business with you now. And you need to be willing to do the same. So some of the tools you're gonna need in your toolbox, not right away, but you definitely wanna get them in the near future. One, I said use VUMBR. You need a VUMBR number. Next, I use lead pages personally, simple opt-in pages where you can capture people's email address and you can send them emails with your deals and anything else to add value and just keep in touch, stay fresh on their mind. On the back end of lead pages, I use MailChimp. That's my autoresponder. Now, I strictly use MailChimp just for email addresses, but you could store names, phone numbers, the whole deal in there. So if you want to get super creative, MailChimp will hold all that for you. Next, Sly Broadcast. You will eventually have thousands of people in your system, and if you want to talk to them on the phone, that would be insane to try and call 1,000 people at a time. But you can create an open-ended message, let them know, hey, I just got 10 new wholesale deals. If you are in the market, why don't you give me a call and I could give you the rundown on everything that's available, and you could send a Sly Broadcast voicemail message to everybody on your list for a few dollars. It's next to like 5 cents, I think, per number. So that's well worth the investment to sort through everybody that's on your list, and only the motivated ones are gonna call you at that time ready to buy. You could close them out and keep things growing. And one better than that is easy texting. Now there's different companies that provide all these same services, so you don't have to use these. I'm not an affiliate for them or anything like that. Just this is what I personally use. And easy texting, same exact thing. You could text blast 1,000 people. Hey, deal of the week. If you're interested, here's the link. Boom. And then that's it. Thousands of people, push of a button, very minimal investment, and it will keep your brand growing and everybody happy. So I've thrown a lot at you right here. I hope it's helped, and if you're interested in getting in the land investing game, by all means dive right in with this. But while I have you here, drop by takingactiontoday.com. I got some cool free resources over there you can use to go ahead and build your investment portfolio, generate some extra income, fun things like that. Link will be below the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll connect with you on the next one.